Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts. Now, what I'm going to be doing today is an experiment using cement. After the plaster of Paris experiment I did, which worked out brilliantly, check that video out, I'll link it at the end if you've not already seen it. I was asked by so many people what would happen if you use some cement with it. I said, well, I don't know, so I'll give it a go. I'm going to be using the same mix as I used for the plaster of Paris, which is 60% resin and 40% cement by volume, not weight. So we'll see what happens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it straight into my female mould, and I also have got this male mould, and I'm going to do it straight into the male mould. Now the male mould is a little bit larger than the female mould, so there'll be a lot more volume in there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with the extra volume. I've got my resin mixed up now, and I'm all ready to mix this up. I have no idea how this is going to react. I'm going to do the small one first, because I think if it has a bad reaction, then ultimately I've used less resin to do it. So I'm just going to pour my resin in. So I've got 60% and 40%. And then I'm just going to mix it in. And I'm quite sure that this is going to produce an awful lot of bubbles. But I've used quite a thin resin. Everything is mixed in and there's no dry spots. I've not added any colour to this one either. Although I will make one with colour. Probably put some white or something in it. Well, it doesn't seem to have done anything with the mixing, certainly. The pot hasn't got warm, although it hasn't had that long. So I'm going to pour a bit into this mould first, and then tap that mould and do a bit of squidgy-widgy in around it to get rid of any of the trapped bubbles that are in it. Because you can't beat a bit of squidgy-widgy in. And I haven't got my pressure pot yet, so I can't put it in a pressure pot to see what happens. But I'm nearly there with it, so if anybody fancies buying me a coffee to help me get towards my pressure pot, I would really appreciate it, and the link is in the description. Thank you for everybody that's already bought me a coffee. I will be adding everybody's name to the pressure pot who's donated towards me getting it. Anybody that donated through December and up until I order it, their names will go on it. So I've given that another squidgy-widgy. And I'm now going to finish off pouring. I'm only going to pour it level because you can always sand the bottom down when you're ready to do anything with it. So there's that one. So I'll pop that to one side. And we've got the larger mould as well. So I'm just going to mix that up the same. I will link everything in the description that I've used today. I just want to say thank you to all my members now. It's getting a great little community. Don't forget, if you become a member, to join the VIP Facebook group, because that's where I announce all the live streams and all other bits and pieces that go on. I'm going to let those bubbles come up and try and get rid of some of those bubbles, because I can already see on this one that there are quite a few bubbles come up on the top. I've decided for the male one, I'm going to put some white pigment in to see what happens, and because this is quite a dark colour, I'm putting about that much in of the opaque pigment, and I'm not sure what colour this cement will cure either. It may cure a lot lighter, as cement often does, or it may stay this same colour. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let this cure up a little bit more, and then I'm going to add in some sand, similar to I did the previous one that I will link at the end of this video. And it's definitely lightened that up. So I'm just going to pop some sand in. Sand and cement. Making a brick wall. And I'm going to let that get a little bit thicker as well. So hopefully that sand will... Oh, let's put it all in. So hopefully that sand will stay suspended in that resin a little bit. And then I'm going to pour it into that mould. Give it some squidgy-widgy in and see what happens. And again, this hasn't warmed up at all, and it's been in here now probably about 5-10 minutes. So it's not made it cure any quicker or done anything to it. It did, as I suspected, make a lot of bubbles, but we will see. They were easily popped with my long nectar lighter. So this has been waiting for about 20 minutes now, and it's got thicker. I'm not sure if it's thick enough and it'll stop that sand completely going to the bottom. But if I leave it any longer, then I think it will be too thick to pour in the mould. I have poured a tiny bit into the bottom of this mould already, so I can do a little bit of squidgy-widgying to get rid of any trapped bubbles that are at the bottom. Now, what I've also decided to do is I'm going to chuck in some glitter. And I'm going to go and see if the glitter will actually come through in any way. It's a dark grey glitter. I'm going to put quite a bit in. And now this one has got the white in it and the dark grey glitter. And I want to see, hopefully, that will give it some sort of sparkle as well. So what I'll do is I'll just pour this in the same as I did the last one. I'll put a bit more in. So this is a great tip. When you've got a mould that's quite soft like this but quite large, look, it's going to topple over. So what I've got is I've got this disposable mug, and I'm just going to pop it over the top. I've taken the bottom off this disposable mug, and that will allow it to keep upright and to stop it toppling over and you losing anything from inside. And if you feel it's still toppling over one towards one side, which this one slightly is, then all I'll do is I will just pack a bit of kitchen roll or tissue into there, and then that will keep it from toppling over and it will remain upright. I'll leave these for 24 hours. Hopefully they'll clear up fine, and we'll come back and we'll look at them when they've been demolded. Well, these are cured now, so let's have a look at these. And I'm hoping that they should come out the moulds fairly simple. This is the one I did where I just added cement and nothing else. And it is coming out the mould nice and easy. It's got a really nice glossy finish. And due to the squidgy-widgying, there is no bubbles, apart from there's a few on the bottom, but I will sort those out anyway. And actually, I think that's come out really, really nice. It's nice and glossy because the mould inside is nice and glossy. And yeah, it's come out really well. Now, this is the one I did with the larger male mould. I put white pigment in this and some glitter. And you can see the glitter on the top. That's glittering nicely. And this is coming out really, really well. And this is where we're going to identify. Oh, he does have a dinkle. So, apologies, anybody. I'll cover that up. Or I'll leave it out. Oh, peekaboo. So I overfilled this one, but that's not a problem because I can just pull that little bit of flashing off. It is a lot paler than the other one. You can see where the sand has come out, and I think that looks quite nice, but I do think that that would have been better if I'd have let it thicken up even more and got it completely thick before I poured it in, and then you would have seen a much more even dispersal of the sand. But overall, I think it's come out. You can't really see much of the glitter. I mean, there's the odd bits are in it, and it does give it a bit of a sparkle in places. But other than that, I think it's quite nice. I'm not sure if I prefer this one or this one, actually. I like them both for their merits. I think they both look good. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Check out my join button because there's a lot of extra perks for anybody that becomes a member. Please check out the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description below, where you'll find the link and then you can buy me a coffee. Enjoy your resin. Take care of yourselves. Bye.